Dockhouse Rugby Show is proudly sponsored by Autism Friendly Caravans Blackpool, where every day there is a new adventure. Dockhouse Rugby Show, Zoom special. Today's guests are two of the back row for St Helens Rugby League Football Club. It's Mr. Louie McCarthy-Scarsbrook and Mr. Joe Batchelor. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Hi, guys. Right.
Well, as you said, we've got two superstars of the current Saints team, and you've got a great run at the moment, losing just one game. You're in the semi-final of the Challenge Cup, and you're at the top of the league. So how's that feel, first of all?
No, it's great. We couldn't really have asked for a better start. Like you said, only one loss, semi-final of the Cup and top of the league. So I think if you'd offered us that 7-8 weeks ago, we'd have definitely took it. So we can't complain at all.
Definitely. How's the mood in the camp then, Louie, with such success early on in the season?
Quite low, actually. Yeah, we're a bit downtrodden, I think. No, we're all right. No, it's a good camp to be in at the moment. Obviously, when you're winning, everyone's grinning, really. So we've just got a good bunch of lads, really, who want to work hard for each other. So I think we're all pulling in the right direction where we want to go. And obviously, we know at the end of the league season and the cup season, we want to be about fighting for them trophies. So we're all pulling in the right direction.
Both from two different backgrounds, two different ends of the country. Louie, you started your journey down south. Come through Harlequins, and then what was your transgression like from playing for Harlequins, then coming through the system and up to Saints?
Down south. Louie's from down south.
Did you not know? Did you not guess?
I thought it was a St Helena.
No, 100% St Helena.
100% St Helena now.
St Helena, yeah.
I thought he was Scottish.
Splitting fishes, Louie.
People get confused. Sometimes I'm Sheffield, sometimes I'm Irish. It's just it's a mixed bag with me, really. It just depends where I want to be from. Well, the journey started probably when I was 15, really, at school, last year at school. And one of my teachers come in and said to me, do you want to go and try rugby league? Because I wasn't the sharpest tool in the box. So he said, you might as well go and do that, really. So I joined Broncos back then, under 16s, and got bitten by the bug, really. And then went through the development stages, got through, played for London Broncos. Then they changed to Harlequins. Went on loan to Hull FC for the 21s. Won the grand final there. Then come back, got my debut. And then St Helens come in for me, and it was a no-brainer, really. So I bit it, and then come up here with my then girlfriend, now wife, or 4 kids. So so a lot has changed, really. So yeah, but that's it, yeah. And then one to the medal's on the way, so it's always right. It's always nice.
Some journey to rugby league stardom, Louie. Not many come through that. I mean, we have had quite a few come through London, but not the same amount as. It's probably not as easy as it would be if you grew up in the heartland. So when was your first experience? Did you know about rugby league before you were 15, or was it kind of when the teacher said to you, "Look, give this a go"?
No, I had no idea. No idea about rugby. Yeah, no. Always wanted to be a footballer. Still do. So if anyone's out there wants to give me a go, yeah, I'm good to go. No.
You didn't know the rules when you were... Do you know the rules now? Have you learnt the rules yet?
No, they change them every year, so no one knows the rules. No one knows the rules.
They're constantly changing.
Yeah, just
constantly changing.
Look forward as that.
What are the rules? Oh, Christ, I'm singing again. What are the rules?
A good piece of advice. It was always head down, arse up, run as fast as you can. So there you go.
That's pretty much it, yeah. Coaching's easy, isn't it? That's it. You passed your level 2 coaching badge there, Louie.
Easy.
And Joe, you've come through from, is it originally, you're Wakefield by birth, is that right?
Yeah.
And then you went to York City Knights, and then on to Coventry, then back to York on loan for a spell, and then before you ended up at Saints. So what was your journey into rugby league like?
Yeah, like Louie did it long way around. Didn't just go straight forward through an academy and then play there for 10 years like some kids do. So I originally started at Sheffield Academy. I played 2 seasons there. And then I got the chance to go to Australia to play with my mate for a year. So I decided to go over there. I give that a crack. came back and then signed at Coventry for 6 months. They took me on board and said, "Do you want to come down here?" And I thought, well, I'll go down see if I fancy trying to do it at a decent level, or whether I just want to play with my mates. Just loved it again, and then luckily Fordy asked me if I wanted to go down to York on trial. Went on trial at York for 6 months, and then 18 months later, Saints came in for me and signed. And like Louie said, it's a no-brainer when the best team in the country comes in for you. You just snap their hands off and then work everything out after that. So signed there, had to be patient, went back to York, played a couple of games for Leon Jewel Reg as well, and then last year sort of my breakthrough year. So it's been quite a tough journey, but I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah, people say you've had like a quick rise to the top, but you've not really. You've been out there, like you say, you've done it, and probably the other way around. You went to Australia early on. What was it like playing out there?
Loved it. The standard weren't probably as high as what I was expecting when I went out there, but it was the people know exactly what they're on about. They love it. It's a main sport out there, which is completely different to over here. So anyone you bump into, they want to know about why you've come here and why you're playing rugby over here, and then you get into a conversation that way. Whereas if it was the other way around, some people would probably just go, "Over, okay," and just let you get on with it. So it was a great experience, like just being out there and seeing how they do things slightly different to everything we do over here.
So everyone's always asking about rugby league and asking about your story. Is that the same for you, Louie? When you go back to London, all the locals in London pulling you up. Are you Louie from St Helens? Is that how it works out? Have you not converted all the Cockneys to rugby league yet? No.
No one. Apart from family, they go, "How's it going?" And they go, "All right, yeah, sweet," and then that's about it, really. So yeah,
that's as good as it gets.
It's still a northern sport, so there you go. No, they always ask, "Oh, how are you going?" "Yeah, good." I go, "Oh, we won it." I go, "Oh, nice one, well done." Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, it's a massive achievement, but it's just like, "Oh yeah, right, well done."
Yeah.
How do you feel at home, Louie? I thought I'd speak in your natural language, so I've put something together. Have you been able to use your loaf?
Yeah.
To put some bees and honey away for when you finish playing, or have you passed it all over to the trouble?
No. She's got it all. No, and I haven't got a loaf. She's nicked it all, and literally, I'm sitting in it now where all my money is. So there you go.
That's where all your bees and honey is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is he telling the truth, Joe, or is he full of pony?
He's full of bull. He's absolutely.
Tell him what pony means, Louie. Is he like listening training? Does he Cockney rhyming slang on his? When he gets you all in the huddle, is it all Cockney that he talks? Is everyone looking at each other saying, "What's he saying?"
He doesn't sit with us because he's got that much cash. He goes and sits in his Hummer on the phone, sorting out all his business deals. So he don't even sit with us in training. So I hardly know the bloke, to be honest.
You've changed, LMS. Yeah. You've changed.
Didn't even know Batch played for us. That's how bad it was.
Your brother's at Wakefield, isn't he, Joe? James, he's going pretty well.
Yeah, he's going well. He needed a run in the team, and he's got that this year, so he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, he's really developing into a good player, following in your footsteps. And I think you've hit a real rich vein of form such early in the season, Joe. I think, speaking about your development, the way it's you broke through later last year and the form you've been showing this year, I think, the fans are really behind you and really encouraged by your performances. So well done on that. And we're looking forward to many more of those performances as the year unfolds. And it's the big one this Friday. How's the mood in the camp building up to such a big game?
Yeah, it's just the buzz around the place. Everyone wants to be involved in the Good Friday game. It's spoke about pre-season, off-season. It's first thing locals say to Aussies when they come over. First thing when you sign, as long as you beat Wigan, you'll be all right. So it's a great week to be involved in, and obviously pulling them out in the cup in a few weeks' time as well adds a little extra spice to it. So it should be a cracker.
Is there a different vibe in the camp on the run-up to a Wigan local derby?
A little bit, yeah. There's just a bit more energy. Lads that have got bumps and bruises, they seem to disappear for a week and everyone wants to be involved in it. But it's a real good week to be involved in. But Louie's been involved in more than me. So
well, you have, haven't you, Louie? You've been involved in many Wigan clashes over the years. So does it feel any different to you now, or is it just another game after so long?
Oh no! It's the game, like Joe said, everyone looks forward to, especially the town. Both towns look forward to it. So it's a derby, and obviously you can tell that with the ticket sales. I think we were sold out 2 weeks early before it even on the next Friday. So it's fantastic support by the town, and it means so much to the town to beat them over the hill. So like you said, I've been involved in many, won lost many. So hopefully we can win this one Good Friday and then go on in the cup and win that one as well.
Yeah, I mean, often you're forgiven for losing one or two games or a cup game, but you've got to beat the old enemy, as we call them. It's that's it. There's big expectations on the shoulders, and obviously the other players within the squad who are obviously not brought up on the derby and the religion that is. Do they get it, or is it something that's kind of like fed through the system? Like, look, this is quite important. We've got to get this done.
No, I think because the derby's such a big game, they obviously televise it out in Australia, and then all the boys out there watch it, and they can see the atmosphere and what it means. And obviously, in the years when there's been punch ups and all that, so they can tell that the boys wear their pride on their sleeves, if you know what I mean, and they want to go out there and do a good performance. So I think even when they come over here, they're looking forward to playing against Wigan. Obviously, Wigan at home, Wigan away, and obviously Good Friday as well. So, but yeah, it's one of them where you don't have to get yourself up for. It's just already, like Joe said, your bumps and bruises go away, and you're ready for the war, as they say. So it's a good one to be involved in.
Definitely. Well, I remember as a kid even playing just in the local teams against the Wigan local teams in the under 12s, 13s, 14s. There was still an extra bit of spice to those matches, even at that level and at that age group. It just felt different. You had an extra little bit of energy from somewhere you didn't know you had. And afterwards, you think, where did all that came from? You're just so enthused in the actual match itself. And that's something I'd like to talk about, really, because being in those youth setups and being in the changing rooms and before some games, some players would be nervous, some would have the routines, and as you got a little bit older, you started to do a bit more prep and think about it a little bit more. But what the fans won't really see, they'll see you come out on the pitch, they won't see what happens in the run-up to that. So just talk us through a little bit, how many hours before the game do you arrive, and what do you do before you arrive? If it's an afternoon game, do you have a routine in the morning, the breakfast that you take, and what you do the night before? Just try and give us an insight, really, into how you go about those big games.
For me, really, I think it starts early on in the week. I think you try and get your prep right in the week, but then the night before the game, I have my usual dinner, which is a sausage pasta bake that I've never changed. So I've always had a sausage pasta bake and a garlic bread. But now I've got so many kids, I only get like one bit of garlic bread. I used to have a full garlic bread to myself, and now I only have one bit. So that's ridiculous. And then the mornings is just normal. You have like cereal, a smoothie, lunchtime a sandwich, and then a little bit of sausage pasta bake left over. That's what I have, really. So then I get to the ground for about 6ish, and then just sit in my locker, really, and just wait for the time to tick by, really.
So do you like to sort of keep your own company then before the game? You don't like too much noise, you just sort of get in your own zone?
No, I do like to do that, but I don't. It doesn't get allowed to do that in my house. I'm either doing something or putting something on a roof or something like that before before a game or something. So building a Wendy house or doing something, guttering. I'd love to sit down and just watch telly. It'd be lovely, yeah. But no, not a chance in hell.
You've not got any chance of that, mate. You've got loads to keep you busy.
No, I've got a list so long. It's ridiculous.
About you, Joe, then, sort of day before the game, how do you approach it?
Yeah, pretty simple, Lou. I've got a routine now that I stick to. It got disrupted last week, though, when we was being in France. I had the horrible roommate. he decided to push the beds really close together. I came back in, found him watching videos of Vikings on his phone while he was naked, and it just totally threw me off.
Yeah, it can do that, can't it? Yeah.
I can't name him on here, obviously. But
No.
It totally threw me out. No,
disgusting.
Valhalla.
I like to stick to. I like to have same meal like Lou says night before a game. Mine's carbonara. And then morning of the game, I like to walk the dog, take the dog out for a walk, and then because I don't have 4 kids, I can have a nap in the afternoon.
What about in the gym when you turn up? Then, if it's an evening kick-off, you say you're there about 6 o'clock. What's the atmosphere like? Do all the players chat away, or are they just in their own zones thinking about the match, or does everyone differ? They all have slightly different approaches.
All different. But yeah, like Joe says, sometimes it gets put out of wing when someone's in your room constantly snoring. I don't know who that was, but yeah, in my room it was someone snoring. But no, when you turn up to
we ended having an afternoon nap.
Yeah, taking all the bed covers and all that. Yeah. When you turn up to the stadium, you got different personalities. Some people like to switch on. Some people like to wear headphones. Some people like to have shits and giggles and all that and muck around. But when it's time to go out there, I think everyone switches on and knows what they've got to do. I think as a group, you know who to stay away from, who likes to do their prep, and who likes to, if you want to have a talk, you can have a talk to someone. So lucky enough, I sit next to the man on the screen with me, and I sit next to the legend at the club, James Roby. So I talk to Rose, really. I don't really talk to him, so that's all right.
And what's Wolfie like? What type of coach is he before a game? Is he still a lot, or is he quiet? Is he quite like the Americans, a lot of fist bumping and jumping up and down and hooping? Is there a lot of that?
I can't see there being any.
No.
Go on, Joe.
Yeah, he's like Ted Lasso, just coming in. Giving it big uns. He's got his boombox, walks in with his boombox on.
Yeah.
No, he's sold out his Wolfie. He'll get us in a meeting about an hour and a half before kick off. Tell us a couple of key points for the night, and then that's it. He's gone. He'll come down just before kick off. Just say good luck, a couple of key pointers for you, and then you don't really hear much from him. He just leaves you to it and trusts that you're going to make sure you're ready to go out and play.
That's interesting then. So, I mean, just a couple of key points I think is helpful, because if you try and flood the players with a load of info just before they go on the pitch, surely that's not going to be too helpful. Where just pinpointing a couple of things, that's got to be something you can absorb and process and work with, I guess. Yeah,
you've done most of the work in the week as well, so come game day, you more or less know exactly what you're going to do. It's just good to reaffirm those points, I suppose, and give you a couple of things to focus on. And if everyone does those couple of things that he's given them, then it goes a long way to making sure that we win.
Cool. What we've seen a lot of, like there's posts going out there, is obviously still in the changing rooms, but obviously after the game, that camaraderie and the chant. Who decides who's leading the charge with that? Is it the man of the match? Does the captain pick it? What's the rota?
Now Wolfie goes through. He tells everyone who's been crap, you crap, and he picks out the less crapper one. So no, he just picks out probably one of the top performers of that match, really, to lead the song. So right. It's just not an old tradition, but it must be an old tradition. It's an old song, but it's just singing it after you win. So yeah.
So that's an honour then to get to be picked to actually sing the chant.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's an honour because then you know that when video's on tomorrow, you should be all right.
And was it your first time last week doing it, Joe? Was that your first time leading the charge?
No, I got it against Catalan earlier in the season as well.
Right.
So apparently I like turning up against the French.
Like giving it to the French. What was it like your first time? Did you just take it in your stride? Was you happy to do it?
Yeah, I was happy to do it. Obviously, like Louie says, it probably means that you're not going to get bashed in video review next day. I was nervous a little bit because you see some of the lads crumble and forget the words, make up words, and it can be quite because everyone's watching you. It can be quite a daunting thing, but at the same time, if Wolfie's picked you out as one of the key reasons that he thinks that you've got the win, it's a proud moment.
Yeah. And has Hurrell choreographed his dance yet? Because he just seems to go for it when he's in there.
I don't think he's got a clue what he's doing. No, I don't think he's got a clue what he's doing. I think, he's just a funny man. He loves it. He loves dancing. He danced before we go out to play a match. So he's always dancing. Yeah, he's always dancing. He's got his headphones on and dances in front of me. So, yeah.
So you say some of the players forget the words, Joe. I mean, it's well renowned when the Saints go marching in. It's a song to remember, isn't it? I mean, you can be forgiven.
It's a tough one. It
took a long time to write it, wasn't it?
I know, and I think it takes lads a few weeks to get used to it, so it's understandable why they forget it.
Yeah, the tempo, you got to get the tempo right and all that at the right time. Yeah, I mean, top musicians struggle with that one.
Yeah. What have you wrote there about Pete Tong? Oh, something else. I was just looking at Dave's notes there. What's he wrote there?
It's another one of my jokes now.
Oh, is it? Sorry. See what I've got to put up with here.
I'll have to rewrite that.
Okay, never mind.
We've gone off script anyway. We've not followed this.
Have we not? No. All right. Oh, you don't see no context questions.
We're not quite yet. No,
we're not.
Oh, okay. Not yet. So you want to ask about after the game? We've done before the game.
Right.
After the game, you've sung your song. What then? Do you just shower and go home, or do you go and chill out in the players' lounge, or have you got PR work you've got to do? Or again, does that differ depending on whether it's just a league game or a bigger game?
I think due to COVID, we weren't allowed up in the players' lounges. So usually we would go up and obviously meet the wife and the kids and all that if they're up there. But no, recently it's just been shower, get changed, and get out. Really, if you have to do media, then the media manager Jamie will pull you aside and say you need to go and do something upstairs. But due to COVID, no one's been doing that really. So, but afterwards, it's just really get showered, get changed, and get into the queue at Mackey's. Really.
Is that your recovery meal, McDonald's?
That's my recovery meal. Yeah. My recovery meal. Usually Mackey's because KFC's closed at 10. So
and they've never any chicken. St Helens KFC.
Yeah. No.
Well, the place I know where they go. Oh, sorry, we've no chicken. Can you come back?
Is there any chicken?
Well, it's not really chicken, Dave, but you know,
a bucket of something.
A bucket of something, yeah. That's it.
Have either of you played at Nosey Road?
Yes, so I played against Saints at Nosey Road. Yeah.
You never got to play for Saints at Nosey Road. They'd already moved by then.
No, already moved. Yeah.
Okay, so how many games do you think you've played there from memory? Just the one or two, or
Nosey Road? Well, probably. I'm gonna say 4 years at London, so probably 4 or 5 games there. Probably.
What's your memories of Nosey Road then? Because a lot of the fans reminisce about the atmosphere that was at Nosey Road. It was a brilliant ground, a great playing surface, as I recall. What's your memories of Nosey Road?
Oh, exactly that. I think it was a fantastic pitch. It was an amazing old stadium. The atmosphere was always very good when we were just London. So I can imagine it on like a derby day or something like that. But it was amazing, and I've always got good memories as well because we always won. So it weren't too bad. London always won out there, so it weren't too bad.
So Joe, you never got the privilege to play at Nosey Road then, sadly.
No, I never got to play there. Been a few times though to watch Wakefield in my younger years.
Oh, good.
I think I've only seen them win there once though, for obvious reasons. But yeah, it was a cracking little ground. I think my dad managed to find every route possible through St Helens to get there as well.
One of his specialist shortcuts.
Yeah, one of them where he'd route map before he set off, and then we'd end up in St Helens town centre, pulling his window down, asking someone where to go.
Obviously, crowds are at an all-time high now at Saints. It's great to see. You know, we're getting sold-out capacity crowds there. What's that like as an atmosphere on the pitch? I mean, obviously, once you're in game mode, you know, you probably don't hear it as much. But you know, is it a 14th man? Does it lift you? And
it definitely makes a difference. I think playing in COVID with no crowds sort of amplifies that, and then we got the small crowds back And then towards the end of the season, they're sort of getting closer and closer to capacity. And then, like you said, they sold out this week. But things that sticks out for me was when we won the Challenge Cup and we did the open top bus tour around St Helens. We actually got to see how many people in St Helens and how much it means to the people of St Helens are sort of backing us. So ever since then, it's given me a greater appreciation of the crowd to the show.
Yeah, echo that. I think it was amazing. I think like that open top bus just showed how much it meant to the town. Really, it was a fantastic experience for us as a group. I think to witness that, how much we were loved in the town. Because it is hard because we're on the pitch and we're playing a game, and you see them for that 5 minutes walking around clapping and cheering. But how much it does mean to people when you obviously win a major trophy in the Challenge Cup, but you see how much it means to the town in itself.
St Helens is, as you say, the fan base is excellent and fully behind the team and getting some brilliant crowds at the moment. And there's a famous song that they sing that's been about for several years now. I just wondering how much you understand about the lyrics of that song. Have you had a split yet? Have you had a split fish and curry?
That's the fish one, isn't it? The bits, the crumbly bits, isn't it? Is that what it is? Fish and split and chips, or whatever. Is that it?
You've had a kebab from Gino's, haven't you?
Is that what it is? Oh no, yeah.
No, come on from Gino's. A split is chips and peas.
Chips and peas. Oh, there you go. Oh,
And a split fish and curry is chips, peas, fish and curry.
Oh, right, there you go.
Yeah. And a barrel of Greenhalls is obviously Greenhalls bitter.
Yeah.
Because there was an old brewery in town. Where the Ardshaw Centre is now was an old Greenhalls brewery, and they've still got the social club on Alder Hay Road, Greenhalls Social Club.
Greenhalls, yeah.
A kebab from Gino's is, if you've done the Duke Street Shuffle, we've done that a few times, Dave.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Story about Keith and Gino's. Can't tell it here. I'll tell it another time.
Yeah.
One way, they've got an 8-match ban for it if it had been on the rugby pitch.
It was a good shot though, clean.
We've got a night out in Crystals.
Night out at Martin's.
I thought it was Crystals. Is it now Martin's?
A night out at Martin's, like a split fish and curry.
They're both classic, really classy joints that were in St Helens. Really, so they wouldn't let anyone in. You had to wear shoes to get in.
Yeah. One of them.
Classy.
Yeah. So Martin's is where you know where the car park is at the side of the Citadel, at the back of town.
Yeah.
So you got the Citadel Theatre. There's a little car park there, a little paint display. That was Martin's pub.
So they knocked it down. It was that good they knocked it down.
It's what?
It was that good they knocked it down.
It was that good they knocked it down. You had a flashing dance floor. There was another six-match ban in there as well. That's a different story. Crack with you now. Dave writes these questions. There's no context to them. So there's no right answer. There's no wrong answer. You just answer as they come out at you.
Right.
Yep. Fire away.
Okay, thanks, Keith. So
hang on. Who's going first? Joe or Joe? You go first, Joe.
I'll ask. I'll give you two choices, and you just simply pick one of those choices. So if you answer first, Louie, with your choice.
Yeah, okay.
And then Joe, if you give your choice.
Okay.
You should get to grips with it after the first one. And let's hope it doesn't go Pete Tong.
Ah, that's what it was for.
See?
Sorry.
See?
Spoiler.
Spoiler
alert.
This, you know.
Have you?
It may not look it, but it is all planned. So the first one then. So to you, first of all, please, Louie. Split and fish or chips and gravy?
Chips and gravy. You'll have to have chips and gravy. I don't really like peas. Not a big pea fan.
Okay, excellent. It was a good job we had that conversation about what a split is just before.
I'd have got
Yeah. So Joe, a split and fish or chips and gravy?
Chips and gravy. Northern boys love gravy.
The gravy. Has the note moist?
Okay, the next one. Crystals or Nexus?
Oh no, but yeah, the boys used to go Nexus. So yeah, Nexus. All like the old boys used to tell me that was the one. Nexus.
You're going Nexus.
Yeah.
Well, let's make it modern. Imperial or the Church?
Oh yeah, there you go. We're going church. We're going church.
Yeah, church because they do toasties.
Oh yeah, they do. Yeah. Are you partial to a toasty, Joe?
Not as partial as Ben Davis, I tell you that.
Weatherspoons or tablespoons?
Weatherspoons, because that's where I met the missus. So there you go.
Oh,
Nice.
classic.
Nice.
The spoons on tight.
So I'm in cramp.
He just ruined his little love story there. He went there because he met. He went right.
Hey, cheap birds. Yeah.
Or Vikings?
Vikings.
Vikings. This goes out before Friday's game, you know. You don't want to target
Exactly,
after last weekend, we're going to have to say Vikings.
Good boy.
Going Vikings.
Let's go the Vikings. If you was a Viking, what would your Viking name be?
Ragnar Scarsbrook. There you go.
Ragnar Scarsbrook. Nice. What about you, Joe?
Keith, I think.
Keith. Oh, that's a solid name.
Keith the Viking. I like
Yeah.
it.
In fact, my middle name is a Viking. It's Eric. Eric the Viking. There you go.
Wolf or Wolves?
Oh,
Christian Wolf.
Yeah, Christian Wolf. I'll go Christian Wolf.
Yeah. You know what's funny? And then had to think about that. This is supposed to be quick fire. So, Joe, Wolf or Wolves?
Yeah, I'll go Wolfie as well.
Meow.
Yeah. Playing it safe, both of you want to be picked, don't they? They both want to get picked.
Sorry, Liz.
Well, I had to give Louie head up then, otherwise he'd have had no idea.
Oh, yeah. You could have hung him out to dry there, threw him under the bus, let him go Wolves. He'd have been dropped for Friday. St Helens or St
St Helens.
I'll hit the accent.
Mert.
It's coming on.
Can you say Mert?
Mate.
I like Mert.
I like mate.
So,
Yeah,
Joe,
St Helens.
St Helens or St
St Helens.
Good lad. Good. Broncos or Quins?
It'll have to be Broncos, really, because that's where I started. It started, then changed to Quins. So Broncos.
Okay. Joe?
Yeah, I'll go Quins because I once went down to London and watched Louie get sent off for a fight with Richard Moore when he was playing for Quins.
One. Wakefield or Wake Up?
Wake up.
Wake Up. Joe?
Wakefield. Shaky wakey.
Shaky wakey.
City Nights In with a K or City Nights Out with an N?
I have no idea what that means.
Night spelt with a K or night spelt with an N?
Think about Joe's rugby.
I'll have the last one with the N. Go out.
Oh, shock. Nice with a K. Up the knees.
Joe or James?
100% James.
100% James, isn't he?
No one wants him.
Joe,
No one wants him.
I mean, there's no context to this. It's just the random.
Joe sounds decent, bloke.
There's a few more left. The next one is LMS or DFS?
DFS.
I'll go LMS because I actually spent less money with him than I did in DFS.
Yeah.
It always comes. No, he hasn't. Yeah. No, you haven't.
Yeah.
You know what DFS stands for, don't you? Don't forget Sunday, because the sale ends on Sunday.
It always ends on Sunday.
Apples and pears or stirs?
Apple and pears.
Stairs.
Idiot.
Lancashire hot pot or Yorkshire pudding?
Oh, no. See, I love Yorkshire puddings. Yeah.
Well, yeah. No context.
Yorkshire pudding, no brainer.
You both going Yorkshire pudding?
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Okay. I'm not sure how the Saints fans will take to that answer, but
with chips and gravy on top of it as well.
Oh,
just to keep it telling.
Yeah.
Meat pie or try?
Oh, but I'd love a try. I can't fucking get anywhere near a fucking line. So, no, yeah, I'd love a try.
So you're going for a try. Joe?
Yeah.
Dad scored one this week, didn't I? So meat pie.
Hey!
Was your roomie? Your roomie must have inspired you.
Yeah.
So it is. Yeah, but you've had 2 disallowed this season, though, haven't you, Louis?
Oh, I have no idea. I can't remember. I got too many knocks to the heads.
I think you've had 2 disallowed.
Well done,
Yeah.
mate. Well done.
Yes. See, I'm trying.
How many points you get for them?
None. How many Man of Steel points have you got so far, Joe?
3.
3. Louis?
Minus 20, I think.
This is the very last one then. And Joe, if you can answer first on this final no context question, please. Cockney rugby player or cocky rugby player?
I don't think the Cockneys have had a good rugby player yet, have they?
There's been Fighting the Fire from down there. He was
Nah.
all right.
I think so.
Nah.
Kieran Dixon were all right, wasn't he? Kieran Dixon's all right.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, go on then. We'll have Kieran Dixon, Cockney rugby player.
So, Louis, Cockney rugby player or cocky rugby player?
I'm a cocky rugby player. There you go. Just disappeared.
So during a game, what grinds your gears? What's one thing that it just sends you boiling point?
Oh, Joe scoring.
Joe scoring.
Yeah, pissing me off.
That's what I always say. Around 32 minutes when Wolfie brings Louie on.
Is that the average time? Is it, Joe?
Yeah, around 32 minutes. I look at the clock and go, he's coming on.
Oh, it's coming on now. Yeah.
The rulings that have the rulings that have been put in place. I mean, there's a lot more now. I think the referees have settled down a little bit, but early on, the contact with the head, which has been a massive part of the game anyway. But are you for it? Do you agree with the severity of reaching in the back pocket and giving a yellow card for some offences that were probably debatable and negligible, but for the betterment of the player? What's your thoughts on that?
It is a contact sport, and I think obviously earlier on in the season, I think they were a bit card happy. I think they were a bit card happy with the things. I think now I think they've figured it out, and they're looking at other things now and all that. So they've seemed to have settled down a bit. But yeah, all in all, you've got to look after the players. I think there's been a lot about mental health issues and all that after rugby with all the old boys that are suffering with it and all that. So I think they had to try and sort it out, which I think they did stamp their authority on it and were a bit too strict on it. And now I think they've settled down. I think they've just got the right balance at the moment. So yeah.
What about you, Joe?
No, similar to Louis. I think the reasoning behind what they were trying to do was probably solid. Maybe they went a bit harsh, but maybe that was always the plan, to shock us into it. We had the referees come in at the start of the season. They explained to us what was going to be a yellow and what wasn't. And I think, to be fair, they got most of them in line with what was explained to us. So I think they were stuck in an hard place themselves. I think they'll admit that. But like Louis said, we sign up to the game knowing the risks and what comes with playing the contact sport. And I think most of us play it for that reason, because we enjoy the contact element. And obviously nobody wants to see head knocks, and it's not good luck when lads are concussed, but unfortunately it's probably going to happen. But the protocols we've got in place to manage that now with 11 days, I think that's a really smart one. But I think it's settled into a nice medium ground now. I think it's probably about where it needs to be.
And when you get taken down the tunnel, what's the process then? Once you've both been been taken off to see the doctor. What's the process that you go through when you head down the tunnel during a game?
So I think you got a 5 minutes rest first. So you get taken down, you sat down, have 5 minutes just to cool down, and then there's a variety of tests. So in pre-season we go through a test to sort of see his baseline level, and then the doc's got that on hand, and he'll run through all that again and see where we're at, see if we're close to it. If we're not close to it, he makes the decision to pull us. Sometimes, even if you're close to it, if they've rewatched the footage, because there's someone sat in the tunnel watching the game back to check the head knocks, sometimes they see things in there. So it could be a symptom like unsteady on your feet, or you were laid not moving for a couple of seconds, and then they'll decide to pull you from that. But if all that gets ticked, you get to come back on after 15 minutes. So it's a good thing we've got in place. And I think it's one thing we're actually ahead of footballing, the way we do it. Football have brought it in now, but it's been long overdue for them, I think.
Oh, speaking of football, we know Louie's a Millwall fan. What's your flavour, Joe?
I'm Huddersfield Town. Yeah, I'm telling you now.
Huddersfield Town.
Yeah, took Louie down to Huddersfield earlier in the season, yeah.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Was that good experience then, Lou?
Oh, yeah, we had a stag do in Newcastle, and then we got the train down from the stag do afterwards, feeling a bit worse for wear. Met up with his brother, good bloke, great bloke, and he's really leery, mate. So we got on the train, and then we met up with some boys that I knew that come up to watch Millwall, and then we both went our separate ways. He went into his crappy little end, and I went in the away end. Giving the old V's and everything, giving it large. But yeah, no, we lost 1-0. We should have had a penalty at the end, but the ref's an idiot. So there you go.
Like those tries to keep disallowing for you, Louie.
Exactly, yeah, exactly. So
who's doing the best then? Is it Millwall or Huddersfield at the moment? Who's
well, they're ahead of us in the league at the moment. I actually don't know what's the score. What's the score tonight?
I don't know. I've got it on record, so.
Oh, you're missing the game for this?
4-0 Luton.
I mean, just touching on those games, the most recent game, I've just been really struck by St Helens this year. The pace, coming off your own line, the exit sets, just the pace that some of the outside backs are hitting that with, and the role that St Helens get. I don't think there's anything they do too different than many other teams. They just do it quicker, stronger, for longer. Is that down to the conditioning that you've had in the off-season?
Yeah, I think we've got a fantastic coaching group, really. I think obviously in the physios, in Nathan Mills and Charlie. And obviously our conditioner, Matty Daniels, has been there for years, so he knows how to train us. And we are a fit team, and I think we've earned the trust of Wolfie. He knows he can trust us, really. So, but like you said, our outside backs just get us on that front foot, and then when you have like the guys of like backs carting it in, Sirinen, and then you got Big Al on the back of that, and then you got Roby jumping. Yeah, it's just a wave of speed and power that are going to get you. So it's a fantastic group to be in, because when you're just marching teams down the field and kicking the ball up high, and then you're smashing the fullback on the 10, you're like, wow, how good's this? And teams are struggling to get out of their half. It's a good feeling.
I've been taken aback by the contact. The power in the contact every time means that you're winning the rope, you're getting your shoulders free, you're winning the ground very often, and then the next person is hitting it at pace again, and it just seems you're getting some of those defenders stuck in the washing machine, I think they call it, where they're doing repeat tackles, just exhausting them and just rolling teams. And at the moment, I'm struggling to see. Well, we had the hiccup against Toulouse, but I'm struggling to see too many teams living with Saints when they're at the best. Saying that, I think Wigan are probably, they're firing quite well at the moment as well. They're looking quite strong. They're going to have a really tough test this week. So that might be the benchmark for how the rest of the season goes, I imagine. Is that the sense in the camp?
Yeah, I think we spoke about it earlier. The derby games, you get a bit more energy, you get a bit more about you. You can go for a bit longer in them. So I definitely think Wigan on Friday is going to be a real close, real tough game, and we're going to have to be right at it to get the points. I don't think it's a given by any means. But like you say, what we do is quite basic, but what we have to do is work incredibly hard, and I don't think people appreciate that. People think we've got a bit of magic dust that we just sprinkle, but it's quite simple what we do really. But we just have to do
really
it incredibly
well.
hard. Yeah, and it takes a lot out of you. I tell you, like a couple of days after a game, it's hard to recover from, but it's well worth it when you got the 2 points.
Yeah, and I found that, I don't know what the stats are, but it looks as though Saints are making fewer mistakes than the other teams. But the other teams are probably on the back foot, out of breath, they're exhausted, fatigue kicks in, and that's when the errors come. So it's going to be interesting against Wigan to see how that style of play combats the quite tough style of play. So I can't wait to watch the game. I really can. The very best of luck to all the players from both teams. We're impartial. You know, we want to see a great game of rugby league. Yeah, maybe impartial.
We are impartial-ish.
And certainly the best of luck to you two guys. You've been really entertaining, great fun to chat with. So we wish you all the best and have a great game and stay safe.